Welcome, welcome, welcome to our book date session, the place the best book recommend to you. And today that we're going to talk about this book, Web Wisdom, and we have the co-author of this book, Krista in the house.
Yeah.
Welcome, Krista.
Thank you, Gideon. Thank you, Joyce, for having me this Saturday morning.
Yeah, we are this 11 a.m. right now. So let's go through this one before we start talking about this book. Let me introduce Krista a little bit right here. So Krista, she is a co-owner of the Red Box Studio with 22 years of experience in marketing and copywriting. Her company helps entrepreneur and SME owners to help them to leverage their website for the greater visibility, credibility, and profitability. So her specialty, when she write this book, her specialty is in copywriting and also create a strong, authentic storytelling for her clients. So right now, she is a co-author together with her business partner, Nixin, in this book. And let me share with you what it's about. Krista also. Krista, she is the co-founder and advisor for Women Bizsense, which is a woman entrepreneur organization in Penang, and as well as in 2019, right before our COVID. I think Krista is such a lucky one. You got to go before COVID happened. Is she was rewarded with a full scholarship by the US-based East West Center to participate in a 2-week leadership program for the Asia Pacific women leaders in Hawaii. Welcome, Krista.
Thank you, Joyce, for the wonderful introduction to not only to myself but to the book that I co-wrote with my business partner and husband, Nick. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, now I know, right, from Hawaii. That's why, because I've been following Krista on podcast recently. She also start the Womanpreneur Asia podcast, right? Like,
Yes.
yeah, in I think the first season, you have interviewed like 12 entrepreneur in Asia,
Yeah.
but including yourself, so become
Yeah.
13
Yeah.
episodes, right?
And
So,
there's a bonus episode coming out
oh,
before season 2 comes out. Yeah, so
yeah, I'm looking forward
yeah.
second season. Yeah.
Our second season is interesting.
Yes. I
So
watched the first season. Second season, not yet, right? Not yet
Not
launched.
yet.
Let us know.
Coming soon. Coming soon.
I mean, so
Great.
So let me introduce this book a little bit before we go in depth. So what can you get from this book, Web Wisdom? So this book is really for you if your website now isn't attracting the sales that you want, or your website doesn't turn up in Google or in any search engine, no matter how you search, or you are spending a lot of money in Facebook, in social media, in Google, but nothing happens, or you want to know how to manage your social media without getting overwhelmed. And last, I think if you want to be more smart in doing marketings and get ahead with your competitors, I think this book is for you. Okay.
Yes, definitely. So we're going to ask Krista a lot of questions today.
Yes, please go ahead. Do you know? Let me just say this also.
Yeah.
Even though my book has been out for some time, right? No one has ever interviewed me about my book.
Wow.
Really?
We are
So
very
you're
honored.
the first people. Yeah, you're the first people.
Really? Oh, we are such an honored one.
Yeah, I mean, people talk about it, but not really an interview, like specifically about the book.
Yes.
Yeah, because the platforms I'm on are usually talking about other things, marketing, but not so much about the book. Yeah.
Wow, we are so proud that we have you in today talking, because first thing come to this one, we are so curious to know that what inspired you and Nick to write this book. It's Web Wisdom. It's such a great book to read.
Okay, thank you so much for the lovely comments that both of you have said about the book. So, one of the things that, for me personally, when I was very young, I've always wanted to write a book. So I think because I like to read books, and I'm sure you and Gideon know that books are part of our lives, right?
Yes.
We learn so much from books, and specifically,
Is it Frozen?
Yeah, kind of frozen.
Frozen from Krista's side.
Yeah.
Krista, are you there? That's why tech issue. Okay, hold on for a while. Wait for Krista to come back. She's froze with her face also, right?
Yes.
Am I right? Because I need to check. It's not my issue here. I think from her side, the line is not so stable. Okay, let's
I
see.
think this really show that this is a live show.
This is really live. Okay, Krista, she go out, then she will join. Definitely, she will join back because this is some technical issue that might happen in real life.
Yeah.
So it comes to my training. Sometimes when I have a session, I have a training, I might have this issue as well. So maybe we can talk about a little bit on this book while waiting for Krista to come back.
Yeah.
So this book is written by Nick and Krista at 2016. It's about 5 years ago. And at first, in my mind, 5 years ago, about this book, Web Wisdom, can it be outdated already? First, when I come to get to know this book, is like 2 years back. But I found out that this is the book that is so practical that is not outdated at all. And Krista and Nick is consistently updated the book, update the new information about the current e-commerce, that all this is such a great one. They are keeping the updated version. So that's why we really love her to share more. And I hope that she come back as soon as possible so that we have more questions together with her.
Joyce, maybe we can talk about the your aha moment about the book first, since we are waiting.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I'll pass to Gideon talk first. I
Me?
talk.
Okay. So for me, I like the book because there are many actually ideas inside the book which is contradict to what people think about website marketing or website design.
Mm.
One of the things that impressed me a lot is about when the book talk about when you do your website. Normally, people will not want to put their trade secret, their business secret on the website itself because they are thinking, people might copy my
Yes.
ideas. But I think this book is totally different, where she told people that just wrote your how you do your business, the step by steps. Because when you do that, people will know. First thing, people will know that it take a lot of expertise to talk about the web design. And people will not copy. People will just get your service, and people will know that it take a lot of steps to do marketing, and people will not copy. They will just enroll and get your service. I think this is what different about the book.
Hi,
Hi,
Krista.
Krista.
I'm back.
You
I don't
come
know what happened. Oh my God, I was like talking, and then there went the both of you froze in time. So yes, this is I always tell my guests even when I do live this is what happens right? All this technical and
Yes.
Wi-Fi issues and all that. So sorry. So I'm back.
We took the time while you're outside, right?
Yeah.
While you're rejoining us, we
Yeah.
took the time to discuss about our aha moment from the book.
Wow, I missed that. I must
Yeah, you
now
can
after
look
that
back.
we'll go and watch the replay then.
Yeah.
Later, we can share more to you. Okay, so I think we come back to our first question that just now I asked you.
Yeah.
It is about what inspired you and Nick to write this book. So maybe we can continue from there.
Okay. So
Mm.
I said as I love reading books
Mm.
and I've always wanted to write a book. But I always believed that the first book I will write would be fiction. But fiction is so hard to write, I mean, you have to think of the story, the plot, the people, the characters, right? So that has been a dream of mine. But that somehow didn't happen. But what happened was that as I was in business, a lot of people kept asking us the same questions over and over. For instance, every time I meet a friend or a client, they will start off with, so how do I start a website? Or what do I need to do in order to start a website or develop a website? What do you think I should consider first? So over the years, I realized that we had so many of these questions and they were coming up over and over again. Then I was thinking that, okay, I would love to answer their questions one by one. But sometimes at some point, it became I would consider very basic questions in a way, because they were coming back to the same themes like, how can I get my website found on Google? How come I have a blog, but my blog doesn't get, people can't find my blog? Or what can I do to improve my website so that people will visit? Or how do I market my website? So all these questions came on again and again. I realized that there is the foundation of a book in these questions. So I also believe that if any of us are in a business or a situation whereby we get asked a lot of questions and similar ones keep coming up, common ones keep coming up, I believe you have a message to share with the rest of the world by writing a book so that you can explain yourself in more detail. Because if you don't, right, uh, actually it's a pity because people come to ask you for answers. It means that you have some answers to share. So that is where I believe that that made me decide to think of doing a book, but more on helping prospects and clients understand exactly how to use their website so that they can start off at least with some understanding of how they can really, really maximize their marketing asset, which is the website. Yeah.
So next time when people ask you the question, you can say, yeah, the answer is here.
Yeah. And also because the answer is here, it's easy for them to really understand because sometimes if I tell you in a meeting, right, or in a conversation, you may forget. But if you have the book that I say, hey, refer to chapter 4, that's where I talk about, just say, the power of email, or
Yeah.
chapter 5 about the importance of communications or something like that. So at least the person, oh, okay, I can refer to that chapter. Okay, I'll go back and read it. And if I have any other further questions, I'll come and ask you, which is a great way to start
Yes.
another conversation, which means that now they know a little bit and then they come back and ask another question. Yeah.
That's why so great that you write this. So just now you mentioned a little bit on the website,
Yeah.
about website. Nowadays, why the website is so important to what we're doing right now, especially in this technology world we are in right now.
Okay. So these days, I'm sure you know there are millions, I think millions, probably millions and millions of websites out there, right? And you can either have a website for your own business
Yeah.
or you have a company website, right? Where it talks about what you offer as a company. But I believe that a website is something that's really important because it is a place where you can control what you want to say,
Mm.
and you can say what you want to say. Actually, basically it's your own platform, right? So it's like you have this platform for you to announce things that you want to announce, whether
Mm.
it is your upcoming events, whether it is your new product, new promos, new launches, or it's also a place for you, and this is very important if you are intending to grow your team. It is for you to attract quality talent,
Mm. Yeah.
because these days whenever people go to job street or any job platform,
Mm.
right,
Mm.
before they even apply for the job, they want to know what company is this. Is this a company that is like reputable, credible, trustworthy, or is this company like that kind of fly by night kind of company? So they also want. I mean, you want to hire people, right? But people also want to check you out before they get hired by you. So the
Mm.
best place for them to get educated, because otherwise when you come for interview, you ask them, so what do you know about my company? And they'll be like, actually, I don't know very much about your company because I couldn't find anything about your company online. So
Mm.
if you want to make sure that your company stands out and also stands out in a positive way in the eyes of the job seeker, the person's coming through for a job, make sure that your website has also information that makes people feel that they should and want to come and work for you. They feel excited, like, yeah, I'm working for this company. It's so exciting because I see so many exciting things happening in the business that every year they're launching something new. Every year they're doing something interesting, right? So not only for clients, but it's also great if you intend to grow your team and hire good people or even people who want to come and work for you. So to me, these are the ways for you to stand out. But more importantly, it's also a way for you to position yourself. Because a lot of times when people say, just say when I get a business card from Joyce, I say, oh, Joyce, wow, you do this and this and this. And then when I go home, I will go and Google Joyce. I'll
Mm.
Google Gideon, right? I'll check your, oh, okay, what? Okay, I go to your website. They say, okay, I find out more about you. So
Mm.
that also lets me know that do I want to collaborate and work further with you? Because what I see on the website can be a great way for me to feel persuaded, like, wow, she has done so many amazing things. Like Gideon has done so many amazing things. Wow, I didn't know this. So this is in a way for you to tell prospective partners also
Mm. Yeah.
that you have things to offer them. So that's why a website can work in so many ways. So sometimes when I see people who say, I don't have a website, but I have a Facebook page, I say, great for you. But in the long run, it's really not that good for your branding and marketing purposes. That's just, and then when people Google you, they can't find you. That's even worse, right?
Because Facebook is not belongs to us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
can shut down anytime if they
And
want to.
people can report you, right?
Yeah.
Anytime report you, complain about you, and say that you're doing something, and then they don't like it, or they can even leave really really awful reviews sometimes. And so you're trying to fight, with all these people who come and troll you and all that. So yeah, of course, I'm not saying that, oh, you should have a website and not have a Facebook page. I believe that Facebook pages have their own way of helping you in your business.
Yes.
They are great in reaching out to the public,
Mm.
but if you really want people to find out more about you, and you control, in a way, what people see here about you, and that's where your website comes into play lah. Yeah.
Wow.
True.
A good answer. But I can't stop myself to quote Krista, like to say, treat your website like your HQ, right?
It is.
Of
It is.
your business.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
your HQ. Because
Your
if it's not
HQ.
your HQ, right? I always tell people, if it's not your HQ, right, then people come to your website. Okay, then the one final thing before I get onto the other one is that sometimes also these days, in terms of using your website, it is a place for you to also debunk rumors. For
Yeah.
instance, there's something happening about your company, people are talking about company. So the first place to go to is your company website, right? To
Yes.
see whether it's already announced there or not. Like pandemics, COVID things, right? So they want to know, to verify by going to your website. They can't go to your Facebook page. I mean, they could, but it'll probably be buried under so many other updates and posts.
True. So powerful.
The next question actually I have, but I want to quote the book first. It's about don't drive traffic to your website if your website can't convert. So because if you do that, it will just result in failed campaigns and just wasted money. So assume that we have a good website. How do we drive people to visit our website? And so this question is actually about driving the traffic to a good website.
Okay. That's a really good question, Gideon. I'm glad you asked that, because that's also one of the most often asked questions I get from people that I meet, right? So I think the first thing you must ask yourself is, what do you have in your website that people are attracted to? Okay, so if you have something attractive, interesting for them, they would definitely want to visit. But sometimes, of course, having something good doesn't mean they'll come. It's not like build it and they will come, right?
Yeah.
Usually it's not the case, because like I mentioned just now, there are millions of websites out there, and yours is just one of the many, many thousands out there. And that's also if you get found. So I would say that first thing is make sure that you know what your website should do for you. So unless you're running an e-commerce means directly people can buy the product, right, when they come to your website. Then it's much easier, because you can say, hey, you want to get this product, maybe a special rebate and all that, come to my website instead of going to other shopping platforms. Okay, so that would definitely drive the people there because they want something at a discounted rate. But if you're not doing e-commerce, if you're just running a regular business and there's nothing really like technically you can sell, the reason people go to your website is to find out more about you. But you also are a business that can help other people. So when people go to your website, they expect to have something to help them, right? Something that you offer to help them. So what is it that you can offer to help them? So for instance, if like I take our own business. So in our business, I don't expect you to come straight away to our rebelstudio.com and say, hey, I want to get a website. No, most people would check it out first, see whether, what we offer is what they need. And just say after that, they realize that, oh, this is something that they need. So what do they do next? So what we do is we offer them some free downloads. And I believe the free downloads is also one way of indicating whether these people are ready to get a website. Because if they are ready, they will go and download. If they're not ready, they just don't care, right? I mean, if it's not in the market for a website, why would they want to download any website guides and all that? So this is what we mean by having something useful. But more than that, like coming back to your question, right? How do you get people to your website? So this is what I do. Let me just see if I can show you my business card. Is at the back of my business card. I
Yes.
tell them exactly what they can get when you go to the website.
Yeah.
So this, every time I pass out my card, this of course is the front of the card, but this is the back of the card. I tell them, if you're interested in learning how to improve your website, go to this page and get 2 free chapters of our book. So if they are not interested, they wouldn't go. But if they're interested, they say, oh, interesting, I want to improve my website. Let me go and check it out. So that's how we basically get the interested people to go to where we want them to go and do something. So when people go to your website, they need to do something. You can't just leave them to browse. I would say don't leave them to browse, because unless you're e-commerce, they may also browse and leave, right? E-commerce doesn't mean immediately you make a sale. Yeah. I hope that answers that question.
Yeah, very practical, I think. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. Just now you mentioned about the free downloads.
Yeah.
Like you at the back of your name card,
Yeah.
there's a link so that people can go and get your free chapter for 2 free chapter. I do download before I buy this book. I do download the 2 chapter before I bought it. So one thing is, I found that sometimes people may be quite hesitant to give their email to in order for us to send them the free downloads, because for us we want to send them the free downloads, so we need some place to send them, right? So we will send them through the email. But some people did have this challenge. We found that we found people are hesitant or even reluctant to give their email address so that we can send them something.
Yeah.
That would be some of the challenges that I am personally met, or me and Gideon are meeting up this when we first start the book date session. So what is the main reason that contribute to this challenge? Maybe you can share a little bit with us.
Okay. That is also one of the challenges, because a lot of times people online these days, when people go online, they're also very scared of scammers, right? And also people go online with a very skeptical mind. We always believe that, I don't know whether, is it too good to be true? Are they really going to give me this stuff? So I think part of it is also to make sure that before they even download anything, you would have enough material or information on the website to reassure them that after they put in their name and email to download your free guide or free materials, that you will treat their email with respect.
Yes.
I think this is because we get so much, even for myself, I get so many subscriptions in my inbox, right? And I subscribe to them because I love reading those things. But sometimes it's also because, like I said, time. And of course, there's so many things happening in our email inbox. But if we can reassure them, it's good. If we can reassure them that we're going to treat the email with respect. And I think the other thing now, which is even more powerful, is to be able to segment your email subscribers into what they really want to hear from you. And for me personally, also, we're still, tweaking and testing also. So just to let you all know, I do have an email list also. But sometimes I also think, okay, what if I were in the shoes of the receiver of the email? What would I want to see or hear from these people that I signed up for, right? So I also have to think, okay, of course, every email that I send out would have to have value.
Yes.
But what kinds of value? So that's also when right now we are also thinking, okay, what kinds of segmenting can we do within the email list? Okay, maybe some people just want to hear about website development. Maybe some people just want to hear about, there are people ask me how to write a book, So there could be people like that. So there are different needs. So maybe it's easier if we can segment different needs. So this is some of the stuff I'm experimenting with also, to see whether we are segmenting them so that they only get information that they want to get, not necessarily what we want to send them. And so as marketeers, I think we always need to test and research and refine our research so that at the end we can better help the people who have signed up to hear from us or to get our information. So it's an ongoing battle. So Joyce, no worries. Every marketeer you come across will probably have that issue. Like sometimes you just don't know, right? So you have to either send surveys out, find out more about what your email subscribers really want, and then based on that, you keep tweaking until you get the formula almost perfect. Like, I wouldn't say get a perfect formula. Like. There's no perfect formula in this world anyway. And people change, their needs change. Maybe 5 years ago, if you signed up for a certain thing and you want certain thing from us, maybe 5 years later, your needs have changed. So maybe, you need to revisit what their needs of the subscribers are.
Because I am also one of your email subscriber.
Thank you.
I
So you
receive,
see sometimes you see sometimes it's not like, of course we want to send regular emails, but sometimes I think, okay, what is the best information to send out to the people who subscribe? And
yes.
it's not just about what I want to say, it's about what you want to hear, right? So if I'm not giving you what you want to hear, sooner or later you get bored and like, oh, never mind, let me just unsubscribe. Too many things in my inbox anyway. So that's a constant battle for marketers.
Yeah.
So the next question actually is about, I think related about what we're talking about is a short one. Just want to know the secret, like how to get noticed online. I know we may be a germs, we may have a very good product or very good things, but how do we get noticed? Like how do we get the people eyeball to stop at your thing?
Okay, to start, you mean at the website or just to get noticed generally?
I would say generally, like um, not only website,
Yeah, so means just say
Facebook.
like person, like, yeah, okay.
Right.
So first is that you have to know your own values, I think,
Mm.
like who you are, what you stand for. And once you know your values, it's much easier to market. So this is also what we do with some of our clients. Not some, actually all our clients who come to us when they want to develop websites. We ask them, right? Because at the end of the day, your business is your business. But people these days want a very personalized business. When they come to your website, they want to see the business owner. They want to see, even you may not be hands-on running the business per se, they still want to know who owns the business. They want to know who's behind the business, right? So a lot of times people miss out this fact and they think that the website is just a very professional. Professional means they eliminate all personality from the website. And to me, that is the biggest mistake you can ever make. These days, people want personalization. People want to go to the website and say, I want to see Joyce on her website. And definitely you are on the website. I've seen your website, Joyce. So you are on your website. So people need to see that. And after they see that, they also need to know your story. So what is Joyce's story? So again, we come back to the values, right? Like, what do you believe in? What do you think that your business or your service or what you do can help other people? So tell that story and keep on telling that story, because a lot of time people say, oh, but I can do so many things, I have like A, B, C, D, and all this thing. So I say, actually, as entrepreneurs, it's very difficult to stop ourselves from doing so many things because it's like so exciting, right? Everything can be done. But if you can zoom in on that one thing that you want to be known for and you can do that very well and it fits with your values, then you keep on talking about it and going out there and talking about it and telling more and more people about it. So one of the things, yesterday I was having dinner with a friend. So we were in the car talking, right, on our way to dinner. And she says, Krista, I know what you're all about. I say, what I'm all about? She say, you're all about this online marketing thing. I know if I want to find out anything about online marketing, I can come to you. I say, oh, thank God. thank God, she told me something that, yes, I know that's where I position myself and that's where I want to position myself.
Yes.
But not everyone understands that, because sometimes people say, hey, can you do cooking? Can you do cooking videos? I can. Can you do gardening videos? Can you do this video? Can. But you don't narrow it down to that specific thing that you want people to know you for. So I don't know whether both of you know, I have a personal blog. In my personal blog, I write about everything, right? Everything like under the sun, everything I write about it. But in our business blog, right, I just write about business and marketing matters. So I don't really like, even though sometimes I reference certain things and link out to my blog, but I don't really talk so much about my personal blog, but I talk more about business side of things. So even online, when people invite me to talk and share, right, I always default back to the 3 topics that I always like to talk about, right? Which is marketing, which is strategy, which is entrepreneurship. So that's it. So even my own Facebook Live, I talk about the same things. So that the more people hear that the more they associate you with those topics. And that to me is the way I've learned that is how I have been able to do it for myself. So I try to use that formula also for our clients. I keep telling them, you just pick the thing that you want to be known for and keep hammering at it. It may take you 1 year, it may not take 1 year. 1 year is a bit too short. Maybe it'll take you 3 years, it'll take you 5 years, even 10 years, it doesn't matter, right? Because if you want to be known for something, make sure you're known for that. So if for instance, now I want to ask both of you a question. Can I?
Yeah.
If you think about just say self-development, what name comes to mind? From the books that you read.
I was, I was thinking about my mentor, Brandon Bashar.
Yeah. Right? So it just pops into your mind, right? It's just like as if the name and the topic is glued together. Gideon, do you read self-development? I'm sure you do, besides fiction.
Yeah. How's Tony Robbins?
You see? So the name is so synonymous with the topic, right? So in your own way, if you want to be noticed online, so you have to think, okay, if I am Gideon, what would I like to be known for?
Yeah.
And when people talk about Gideon, they must associate Gideon with this thing. So then you start thinking, okay, this thing, this topic that I want to be really good at, you go all in and all out to do whatever you can, whether you write, you blog, you speak, you do Facebook Live, you do your podcast, whatever. It's all about that. So as you can see in my Womenpreneur Asia podcast, it's not something that one day out of the blue I decided to do it. I decided to do it because it also fits with my values as a woman in business, as well as I would love to hear other stories of women in business. So it also fits into entrepreneurship. So in a way, it kind of like come full circle. So you have to make sure everything builds into one package. Yeah. So that's a long answer to a short question of how you get noticed online.
It's a long answer to the short question. Okay, we switch a little bit gear on this. I suddenly think of one question out of my mind while you answer the question just now from Gideon. It is about getting noticed with a time frame. We don't know when is it. Like it's just like to say maybe 1 year, maybe too short, maybe 3 years or 5 years or even 10 years.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, what are the, during the process, definitely there's a lot of rejection, frustration, disappointment, or whatever things that can happen. So how do we keep as entrepreneur, that how we do keep ourselves to keep going, trying and testing all these different things to get noticed in the online space?
Okay.
Because nowadays I found that too many people are getting online because of the COVID, and every one of people, because for me, I existed before COVID, I already go online. So I found that after COVID, like every one of us going online, that we are in a very big sea with all the people out there. So what to do to really get ourselves keep going and try testing so many things until we successfully did it.
Okay. Well, the unique thing about entrepreneurship is that you have all the freedom to try everything, right?
Sure.
Which is a good and a bad thing, because you have all the freedom to try whatever. Suddenly today I think, maybe I should try this. Then you can go and try it. You don't have to ask permission from your boss. You don't have to say, hey, can I have to write a project paper to persuade someone to give me permission to do it. So as an entrepreneur, we have that freedom and also the creativity, right, to do the things we want to do. Well, the bad thing is, because of that, we can also go many, many ways, right? We can go left, right, center, north, east, west. So to me, it's like, it also means that rejection is part and parcel of that journey. So I also believe that if you want to try something, you also come with that idea that it may fail. And most times it may not work out in your favor. And I say most times because most people, what they see is only the things that work out in your favor. The things that don't work out in your favor are plenty. But of course, not many people will talk about those things. I believe that whether it takes 1 year, of course, 1 year is you're super fast already. Means that either you've got someone, you've got a mentor to really open doors for you. I always say this about mentoring, which I always believe, like if I had a chance to go back probably 20 years, 22 years, I would have found myself a mentor first thing. out of university. Okay. But back then when you're young, you don't know much, right? So to me, I think getting a mentor maybe some point in your life is good, because a mentor is not just about the knowledge and the information. And when I talk about mentor, doesn't have to be someone right in front of you. That's face to face kind of thing. You can get mentors from books, which is why book date is all about, right? We're talking about books, we're talking about mentors. So you can get from books, which are great mentors. But later on, you may want to get real life mentors. So mentors can be people around you, can be people who are maybe older than you, or even sometimes I think, some people have peer mentors,
Yes.
people around their age, who help them. So if you can get mentors, you can ask them maybe some of the issues or dilemmas that you're facing, and they would most likely help you and guide you through that process. Because I think a lot of times when we face rejection, I think one of the things that we can't get over is the fact that it becomes very personal. It's like, oh, the person rejected me. Oh, am I not good enough? Oh my God, did I do something really horrible? The person doesn't like me. So I think part of it is also to help ourselves understand that a lot of time rejection is not personal.
Yes. So true.
At that point in time, that person may not need your service or help
Yes.
or whatever that you're offering them.
Mm.
It doesn't mean, I always tell myself this, it doesn't mean forever. Just because somebody said no to me, and actually recently someone said no to me. Okay, so I can get into that story later, but just the fact that someone said no to you makes you feel like, oh my God, I didn't do my best. I didn't do anything, and I got such a bad response out of that. But getting no is a good thing, because when you get a no, a rejection, it means that you ask yourself, okay, so is it me, or is it my work, or is it the way I ask, or is it the right time to even ask that person that thing, that request, right? So to me, rejection is part and parcel of entrepreneurship. And if you can, actually, the more rejections you can take, actually, the more resilient you become.
Yes.
You get stronger, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
every time you get punched, you get punched, you fall down, you get up again. It's all about the getting up. It's not about the getting punched. Because if you can get up if you get punched, that shows that you have the energy to go on. So in terms of visibility, in terms of things that you want to do, you have to keep going. So for me, when I think I told this in the podcast, right, about myself, is that I started out when I was in business, when no one knew me, I started out by going out there, offering myself to speak for free, pro bono, whatever platform I could get, people just, hey, I can go and speak for free. So the first thing is, if you can get on one platform to speak, other people notice you,
Yes.
and then you get invited to more and more. And that is a great way of visibility, especially in like Penang, right, where the community is pretty small. Everyone literally knows everyone, right, or knows someone who knows someone who knows you. So it is a great way to get visibility. So I always encourage people, even though I do a lot of work online, I always also believe that there's a lot of work to be done offline. So it's not just like, oh, online means everything must do digital. No, I always believe there's a hybrid, right? You do offline, you do online. There's sometimes you have to do online, but sometimes you have to go offline to do the work. And to me, if you can combine these two, which I believe I have done in a way that suits me, but of course you have to know, you have to like public speaking, because if you just say, I say, okay, someone who doesn't like it, and I say, hey, go and do this, the person will feel very uncomfortable. So the person may want to try something else. So not necessarily public speaking is the only way to get publicity, but
Yes.
it is the fastest way, because people see you on a stage, people see you in a event, or people see you in a like Facebook Live, or Zoom meeting. So when people are able to see you and know that you have something important to share, of course, the thing that we share has to be substantial. So it cannot be just like, like what Malaysian call like to goreng, right? We cannot goreng lah. There's so many things we can goreng only, right? So I believe that first you have to have the knowledge, and then you have to step out with that knowledge and to show up on different platforms, offline and online, to be visible and to show that you are credible. Because essentially it is all this. Right? Whenever I do any of my private marketing classes, I always tell people, essentially, marketing is about people trusting you and buying from you
Yes.
because they trust you. if they don't trust you, actually it has a no, like, in trust lah, but of course at the end it's trust lah, okay? If they don't know you, they don't like you, they don't trust you, you can sell the most interesting thing in the world, but nobody's going to care because I don't like the person's face, Every time I see the person, I get very annoyed. So how can you buy from people like that, right? So I'm sure we also think like our favorite hawker, just say like favorite hawker. You buy from your favorite hawker because maybe the person's friendlier, the person's nicer to you, add a couple of extra prawns in your, I don't know, soup or whatever. So those are the things that make you feel, oh, the person likes me, I know, like, and trust the person. So in Penang itself, we love to go and eat from people that we know, cafes, hawkers and all that. So that also, to me, represents that eventually we buy from people we trust. And if we haven't built up the trust yet, we don't have the permission to sell to them. To me, that is the basics of it all. So if people don't buy, I always ask myself, okay, what have I not done right? Have I moved too fast and haven't created trust? Because if I've created trust, even if you don't buy from me now, you can buy from me like 3 years later. It's okay, because that's how long it takes to build trust. And people need to hear from you, hear that you are there when you want to buy.
It's so valuable insight from you. When you talk about all these things that we face, the failure, all the challenges, all the rejections, disappointments, we can learn something. There is a value inside that we can actually get from there, and we move on and try something new. That's all about keep going and trying new things.
Yeah.
So now, thank you so much, Krista, for sharing all this great insight with us. And we have something to share with you too, what we both actually learned most. And we have this aha moment from your book. Okay.
I must jot it down. As you speak, I must write some notes.
Okay, page number 120. To tell you is I love this case study that you help a client to do is the air conditioning repair business, Mr. Quay. All right, particularly you help him to design a website. And this really positioned him as someone very different and also the leader of his industry. So I love this example, and I particularly love this sentence from you. I quote from 120 picture.
Okay.
So I quote from you. Yes. Here's another golden tip. One of the best ways to stand out prominently online is to do what your competitors are not doing. Quote. Love it. The sentence is such like a goal to me. Why? As Krista, you say you go to my website already. I know my website's it's like built not to convert yet. So I'm currently tied out with something, and I will go back to the website and revamp the whole thing. So that's how goal I can see, and I give a big highlight here. I love it so much.
Thank you.
So Gideon, you want to share?
I think I already shared, right, just now when you're off.
So Krista, you have to watch a replay.
Yeah, I have to watch a replay to see that golden words from Gideon.
Because now when you're off, so we're thinking, why not
Take some time.
to share something from what we learned so much from your book. So thanks again for sharing with us all your insights. Wait and get this book. Krista, you want to announce the website to go where they can get this book from you?
Okay, you can go to webwisdombook.com. So it's webwisdombook.com. Okay, one of the things also, can I end by saying this, right? This book, people say, right, when they read this book, we reveal so much, right? We literally tell everything, literally everything. And then people say that, but when you tell everything, then how? Then I say the whole reason of that is I tell you everything so that in case, even if you never do get a website from us, it's okay. Because as long as I have taught you something and you remember me for teaching you that something that even like just now you say, right, do something your competitors aren't doing. And if that sticks with you and it helps you improve your business, improve the way you stand out, get visibility, and you come back later and say, hey, I've used some stuff from your book and it changed either my business or you changed some part of my positioning and branding and marketing, I think that is a great result, because not necessarily that every person who buys this book will end up being my client and our client. It's okay. but I want the book to be out there so that it's like maybe 50 years from now, hopefully 50 years from now, people say, hey, you really want that book on, like Napoleon Hill one, like you really want that book on, Think and Grow Rich kind of thing. 50 years ago, someone wrote this book, called Web Wisdom. And you really want to think about how people back then, 50 years ago, did their websites or thought about marketing. Maybe this is a book you can actually look at, because marketing will never go out of style.
Yes.
The website is just a platform for it. Marketing, the basis of websites, to us, is that marketing will never go out of style. Website is a platform, email is another way, TikTok, Instagram, they're all platforms. But eventually, it is marketing that we're talking about. And without marketing, business doesn't work, right? So hopefully it will resonate with people that way. So that's why we wrote it. But there's an update coming up soon, because I wanted to add in some parts about e-commerce and also refresh some of the links, because sometimes with books and links, right? Sometimes links may change and all that, so we need to recheck. But more or less, the information is still valid. A lot of stuff people have learned from it. Yeah.
Krista give a lot of links, very useful links that we can actually go there. So that's why you need some updates from here. Yeah.
Can I also say that we have a secret resource?
Sure.
We have a secret resource. Yeah, we have a secret resource for people who read the book, right? If they find a secret resource, they can get more resources.
Oh, wow.
So that's like, yeah.
I mean,
so now Gideon and Joyce, both of you are going to no, it's not. It's in the books. It's in the book itself. So there's a page that you go specifically to get more resources that we couldn't put into this book. So that now that makes you feel, okay, did I miss something?
Okay, go treasure hunt now.
Yeah, so that's that. What we technically call the Easter egg in the book, right?
Easter egg, yes.
There's an Easter egg in the book. Yeah. So that's also how you get people to get back to the website, right? Or to read the book deeper. And they're like, what the heck did I miss? Oh my God, I better go and read it again.
Yeah, so we got some Easter egg to hunt.
Yeah, tell me when you found it. Tell me when you find it.
I think I know. There's one place you put a web one, but I need to go through again. Like I say, okay, this is a place I could hunt the Easter egg already.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Krista, for sharing your great insight right here. And we hope that everyone that watched this replay or the live session right now, go to the webwisdombook.com to get your hard copy. And Krista will mail to you from her.
And I'll sign it.
Yeah. Sign for me too. You see?
Yeah. Thank you for getting our book. Honestly, Gideon and Joyce, I would have given you the book for free. But I was thinking, both of you are so kind to get the book. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Welcome. And everyone, go and have a great day. And see you all next session. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.